Hello everyone, welcome back to Indian Writing in English, Interpreter of Maladies by Jumba Lahiri. Lesson 4. Let's refresh your memory. Mr. and Mrs. Das and their 3 children were on a trip to Sun Temple at Konark. They were on a visit to India from America. They were descendants of Indians who immigrated to America. They had hired a tourist guide, Mr. Kapasi, to take them to the temple. On the way, Mr. Kapasi tells them that he is working as tour guide only for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. The rest of the week, he is working as an interpreter for a doctor who does not know Gujarati. Mrs. Das was not much interested in Kapasi earlier. However, this information made her interested in him. She even commented that the job is really romantic. She says that the patients depended more on Kapasi rather than on the doctor, because it is the interpretation of the maladies, that is diseases, done by Kapasi that helps the doctor to cure them. So that is where we stopped in the last class. Let us continue from there. Mrs. Das' comment made Mr. Kapasi think more about his profession. He had not valued his profession much. He thought that it was a thankless job. Moreover, that job made him remember his failures in his life. Once he was a devoted scholar of foreign languages. He was a self-educated man. He learned various languages like English, French, Russian, Portuguese and Italian, not to mention Hindi, Bengali, Orisi and Gujarati. Not to mention is a phrase. Not to mention means along with all the above languages. He also knew Hindi, Bengali, Orisi and Gujarati. He dreamed of becoming an interpreter for diplomats and dignitaries. However, he was not able to fulfill his ambitions. Now he is able to talk fluently in English only. So that is a small flashback on the life of Kapasi. He was a very educated man, self-educated. He knew various languages, European languages as well as Indian languages. He dreamt of becoming an interpreter for great people, diplomats. Diplomats means representatives of countries for other countries, who travels other countries as representatives of a particular nation. So he expected that he will be getting a job as interpreter. He took the job of an interpreter when his first son was infected with typhoid. That was how he met the doctor. At that time, he was teaching English in a grammar school. After the death of his son, doctor offered him the job as the interpreter and offered twice the money he got at school. His wife didn't like him working at the doctor's, as it reminded him of their lost son. That was how he became employed at the doctor's. His son died due to typhoid. At that time, he was teaching at a school, and the doctor offered him a job with him, offering twice the money he is receiving at the school. So we understand from this paragraph that the relationship between Mr. Kapasi and his wife was a bit strained after the death of their son. His wife didn't like him working with the doctor because that made him remember the death of her son. So, when Mrs. Das talked very highly about his profession, he felt flattered. Flattered means felt elated. പൊങ്ങച്ചം അനുഭവപ്പെടുക, പുകഴ്ത്തപ്പെടുന്നതായി തോന്നുക എന്നാണ് flattered. Mrs. Das recognized his intellectual challenge he faced in the job. The fact that she used the word romantic also affected him. When he saw the indifferent relationship between Mr. and Mrs. Das, he remembered his relationship with his wife. He found the interest Mrs. Das took towards him very attractive. Slowly, his attraction for her grew. So, we see that the comment made by Mrs. Das affected him very much, and it seems that he is falling in love with Mrs. Das. Mr. Kapasi became very conscious about his appearance. He looked at the rear view mirror to see Mrs. Das. He also became attracted to her physical features as well. Physical features means bodily features. He told her about various patients who visited the doctor. When they stopped for lunch, Mrs. Das invited Mr. Kapasi to sit with them. When they sat together, Mr. Kapasi felt intoxicated by her physical presence close to him. Mr. Das took a photo of them together. Moreover, she asked him his address. So that she can send the photos to him. Mr. Kapasi felt really good. Mr. Kapasi was thrilled at giving his address to her. He secretly expected that she would write letters to him, and their correspondence and relationship will grow. He imagined him treasuring their photo together in a book. He felt that all the hardships he faced was for this particular moment. So Mr. Kapasi is drawn very much to Mrs. Das. So a comment on today's portion. The interest shown by Mrs. Das towards Mr. Kapasi after learning about his profession made him feel flattered. He felt himself attracted to her. He longed to see her and to be in her presence. He secretly expected that their relationship will grow in future. So hope you understood the meaning of the moment of the story in today's class. The relationship between the tour guide, Mr. Kapasi, and Mrs. Das seems to be improving. In fact, it is an infatuation on part of Mr. Kapasi. We will see the further story in the coming classes. Thank you.